What it do? We are here for another week of overtime. Tech Foul Cinema coming at you. We are going to be discussing the Netflix movie Hustle, starring Adam Sandler and a bunch of other folks. So let's get right on into it.
It is your boy TIMKINZ, the number three, aka Ass Ketchum, aka Mr. Give It To Me. Hello.
I'm the RJ.
Only known as.
The RJ.
And I'm Camille, point guard of the crew, the real life Tifa Lockhart, the girl next door. You know, holding it down for all the women who love sports.
And it's your boy K Harris, the gentleman,
The gentleman,
the everyday gentleman,
24/7.
or better known as K Diddy.
Take that. Take that. Now, as I mentioned, it's a Tech Files Cinema edition of Overtime this week. And we're going to be talking about Hustle. And the official film synopsis of this movie is described as, quote, after a down on his luck basketball scout discovers an extraordinary player abroad, he brings the phenom back without his team's approval. Is there anything that you fellas would add to the description of what this movie is about? I see Eric going, oh. No?
Yeah, I guess without giving away the movie, that's
That's about as much as you can really say.
It's about to be-
1,000-foot view of it.
Okay. Now, Hustle is a film that is starring, Adam Sandler, as I mentioned. There's also Queen Latifah. The star phenom basketball player is Juancho Hernangómez, who currently plays for the Jazz right now. If I'm
No
not
clue. Until I looked it up. I was like, yeah, he might be into I didn't know he was real.
Yeah,
I
he
knew he
was
was a real player.
Yeah, he was on 3 different teams this year.
I think he got traded like 3 or 4 times this season.
He started on Boston and got traded to the Spurs, and then got traded to Utah, I think.
Well, at least he can act.
Yeah, he got that going for him. That's something, I guess one would say.
I wouldn't mind him in Milwaukee. He got all just got to put together.
I remember when he was on. He first time I remember hearing his name was when he was on Denver. So that's where I mainly remember him from. But
I remember him from Boston primarily. When I think of him, I think of him in a Boston Celtics jersey. He did play, yeah. He was on the Celtics. I was sitting there like, wait, was he on the Celtics? Like, that's what my mind is telling me. He was on the Celtics. Okay. So, first of all, this movie has been taking Netflix just completely by storm. On Rotten Tomatoes, it has a 92% fresh rating, which is the highest Adam Sandler rating movie currently on the site. So I'm going to just start by saying, before we dive into the movie itself, and again, if you have not yet seen Hustle, we are giving you a chance to leave right now.
Yeah.
It's your chance to leave. Unless you don't mind spoilers, in which case feel free to stay. But we are going to be talking about all things that come with this movie, funny parts, takeaways, plot points, and all that stuff. So again, if you have not yet seen Hustle and you do not want any spoilers,
skedaddle.
Yeah, we can say get out of here. Go on there now.
Yeah,
right. So sitting down to watch Hustle, going into it, 2 questions. Going into it, what did you think you were going to get? And then after seeing it, how did you feel about the movie?
Typically with movies, I just kind of go into it and take it for what it's worth. I raised expectations so many times on movies in the past that I've gotten to the point now, and I absolutely love movies. So I gotten to the point now where I'm just like, all right, I'm gonna just take it for what it's worth. I'm just going to it. If I just happen to like, I did catch myself throughout the movie kind of like enthralled in certain aspects or certain scenes where I'm just like, oh, okay. Mainly it's a lot of the basketball scenes, to be honest with you. Like it was times where I just kind of fell into it, but I didn't really have any expectation of it. I didn't see Uncut Gems, so I know some people who have seen Uncut Gems was like, okay, can he kind of top that kind of thing? So thankfully, I didn't have that going into this, and I actually enjoyed the movie. Like I don't know about like whatever hype is behind it, but I just thought it was an enjoyable, entertaining movie for what it's worth. It really wasn't crazy, but I did enjoy the many names of the actual famous people in the NBA in the movie. Like that kind of was like, oh, hey, okay.
Eric, what about you?
I look like the Leo pointing me in the entire movie, like, oh, hey, there's Emeka Okafor. Hey, there's Kenny Smith. Hey, there's Michael Foster. Like, I was just like pointing out. I mean, I was watching it by myself. But I was just pointing out all the different familiar faces from the NBA world that I noticed like throughout the movie. I mean, honestly, like I'm like completely in the wheelhouse for the audience for this movie. Like, it's about the fucking draft process. Like that's my cup of tea right there. Like but like above all of that, like it was just a really good story. Well acted. Like it got me invested beyond like all the superficial surface level stuff. Like it actually, like the story grabbed me. Like I enjoyed it thoroughly. Like that 92 on Rotten Tomatoes is definitely well earned. Like 2 thumbs up in my book. I don't know.
Okay, Ken, how was you feeling about it?
Going into it, I'm an Adam Sandler fan, and I feel like I enjoy his movies anyway. So like I was already there, like, oh, okay, cool. Like it's Adam Sandler, like it's gonna be a good movie. I did go into it thinking it was gonna be like Uncut Gems though, and that's what kind of threw me off. I was like, man, I hope it ain't. I didn't really enjoy that movie, so I went into this one like, yo, I don't know what I'm gonna get. But again, it's like Eric said, like from jump, like I was kind of invested. Like I was more invested in it than I thought I really was going to be. And seeing like he said, he was the meme or whatever. Like, oh damn, like everybody in their moment is in his movie or whatever. But yeah, I definitely enjoyed it. I went into it not with like any high expectations or anything like that. Again, like I said, I'm an Adam Sandler fan, so I was just gonna enjoy it anyway.
For me, first I will say, Ken, I am like you. I did not enjoy Uncut Gems. I thought the movie was disjointed.
Yeah.
I just was not for me, and I was very much looking forward to it because it seemed like a movie that I would like a lot. And I was quite disappointed. So going in the Hustle, I was just hoping it was not another Uncut Gems, which I know a lot of people do like. I do want to make that clear. I'm just not one of the people who enjoyed that film. But this movie, Hustle, I thought Adam Sandler was amazing in this movie. Like his performance in this reminded me of his performance in Spanglish, which is ironically enough one of my favorite Adam Sandler movies. It is not a popular Adam Sandler movie. Have any of y'all seen Spanglish?
Yeah, I've seen it. Yeah.
Okay, just Ken, who is an Adam Sandler fan.
Yeah.
It's very anti Adam Sandler. He's just acting like a husband who's kind of unhappy in life, and it's very like, what's the word? Like just normal. It's a very normal role, and I feel like Adam Sandler is like an everyday man in that sense, where when you see him just being a normal guy, it's very relatable. And in this movie, he was also that like kind of chubby scout who, whenever he's overseas, he's eating anything.
Always body shaming somebody, bro. That's what this nigga do.
Hey, he got called fat at least 15 times in that movie.
Oh,
I'm not the only one.
that nigga was not fat, bro. That normal size nigga.
That was Tim's Leo pointing moment. Like every time they had a fat joke, like, yeah,
exactly. Oh, that nigga fat. Oh, look at that fat. Look at that belly.
Hey, I won't even worry about it. I'm an Adam Sandler fan. I really am. I'm enjoying the majority of his films, and like you said, in this one, it was really like, hey, you know, my man's he put on some pounds, but hey, I wasn't tripping about it. I really didn't. It really wasn't one of those things where I'm like, man, he got big. No, like you said, he was pretty normal.
He was just a little bit more loving.
I was gonna say, had that same energy for Roman Reigns. Like he was on Roman ass.
And he ain't even fat.
He has an image to uphold, my guy. And every time you get hit, your whole body shouldn't wiggle like that,
bro. You too invested in my man's body, bro. I'm sorry.
And listen,
So, for the record,
you got an image to uphold.
For the record, Roman Reigns fat. Adam Sandler not fat.
Adam Sandler normal.
Makes 0 sense, bro. Makes 0 sense.
But no, like he was perfect for this role. Like Adam Sandler was perfect to be this scout who just kind of seemed like he's tired of doing what he's doing. But I was shocked first. I just want to say this when I saw Queen Latifah because I didn't read too much about who was in the movie ahead of time. But I was like, oh, my girl in here. I was like, I know Ken hate this.
Hey, as soon as I said, I was like, come on, man. God damn.
No, why you do that, kid? Huh?
I personally do not like Queen Latifah. I don't enjoy anything she does. The only thing I enjoy was Living Single. That's it.
Did you say you don't enjoy anything?
She a hater. That's all that is.
I'm not. I guess I personally do not enjoy her music, her acting, her singing, nothing. Living Single, 2 thumbs up. Everything else,
not even Just Right.
Right, I was even.
Okay, Just Right was alright. I'll give her that one.
Come on, man. You be
you're being egregious.
I said, what about this? Like her.
I enjoyed her in this. I was like, oh, her and Adam Sandler, they fit well together.
So,
like they had like a weird, like, I don't know. It just seemed weird, but it worked. If that makes sense. Like it was weird, but it was like, damn, like it still felt believable. If that makes sense.
Like they definitely had really good chemistry, and like the girl playing their daughter like looked like it could really be their daughter.
I was just saying that. I was like, she literally like could be like that's a mixed child. Like,
well, I mean, like she probably is mixed, but I'm saying like the child of those 2 individuals.
Yeah, I agree with the relationship because at first I was like, they supposed to be married in this movie? But the way they were able to show their intimacy with one another was really interesting throughout the movie. Like you would see him rubbing her feet and then he's cracking a joke. And then you see her rub. I'm guessing you're not a feet man.
Yeah.
Hey,
my man's.
Why you rubbing them? Oh, yeah, man, goddamn.
My man's got possessed.
What we doing here?
Jesus Christ!
I'm the exact opposite. Let me get the mugs. Hold on. Let me hold on.
Oh, you be putting them in your mouth? You suck on toes?
From a time or 2, you know, or 2, maybe 5.
Hey, I'm rubbing feet, but I ain't sucking on toes. I'm sorry.
Hey, 10 toes down.
You know you can't get Tim started. He gonna
right
way too much.
10 toes down.
Tim's like, I've had a toe in my mouth a time or 2.
Man, listen.
I wish I had one right now.
Yeah, it won't be too long. Ain't gotta wait too long.
My point.
Not Queen Latifah's, but you know.
Tim the toe sucker.
Oh man, Taylor, what you talking about? Give it to me.
Hell yeah, I lick toes.
My point is that they were able to show that this was a couple that had a great intimacy with one another without them like being overly sexual with one another. From her rubbing his bad hand when it was messed up to her being there when he was having a meltdown towards the end of the movie.
My man's had the Dr. Strange hand. Hey, I was waiting for the nigga to do this shit. The whole movie.
I may have missed it. Did they ever explain what happened to his hand?
Yes.
He explained it when they was driving on that one. Yeah.
What happened?
He said he was in a car accident with Kenny Smith's character. He threw his hand out to stop him, and it messed up his hand, and it ruined their season. And everybody hated him for it.
Mm-hmm.
Like it fucked up his life. Like it was a very important part of it. Oh, you got chill.
Oh, that's when he was in the car and he was telling him about the bad decisions.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that part I really think Sam came in talking to me about something.
Yeah, it was during the part where they confided in one another. And he was talking about how he had the abuse charges, Bo was, and then Adam Sandler's character was Stan, was talking about what happened to his hand because Bo was like, "You have a perfect life as it is. Like none of this stuff bothers you." And he's like, "Dude, like I was drunk and I got into a car accident and I stuck my hand out to protect my guy and messed my hand up, but he was okay. And we lost the tournament. We didn't win nothing. And then I went to jail for 6 months." I was like, dang, it just kept getting worse and worse and worse. But another question I do have for you, with all of the various athlete cameos, one, I just want to know how they were able to get so many guys in this movie.
Half the damn league.
Adam Sandler.
Well, LeBron James is a executive producer, so
my question still remains.
He might as well throw the Looney. I'm surprised the Looney Tunes wasn't in that one.
I was telling Sam, I was like, because she was like, Adam Sandler in basketball. I was like, to be fair, Adam Sandler is a big basketball fan, and he plays basketball quite often. And he actually plays with NBA players in his spare time. I was like, so I wouldn't be surprised if some of those are just his own friendships. Like, hey, yo, I got this movie. Would you mind hooping in the movie with, and shit like that?
Yeah, I mean, like I don't discount that either. I was gonna say like that kind of shined through his love of basketball. Like this is like the details. Like there are certain things that kind of they had to fudge a little bit for like story's sake, but for like the amount of detail that they put into like the intricacies of the basketball and of the league and all the different things that they do, it's like, yeah, this is like you can tell like everybody involved really cares about NBA basketball. Like there's a passion there. Like they didn't try to cut like the inverse of that would be like the movie Draft Day, where it's like that shit would never happen in the middle time ever. Like nothing about that movie was realistic aside from like the logos of the teams. But like this was actually like, as somebody that again like loves the NBA draft, like it's like, oh, okay, like this makes it like again like, oh, he got to get into the combine and that's gonna be the thing. And the number 2 pick is the one that's playing at the combine. Like some of that shit ain't gonna happen, but for the most part, like there were. Like it is about like the different steps that it takes and like how scouting is internationally and like the amount of it's like a love letter to NBA nerddom if that makes sense. So like it's like that shined through. You can tell that it came from one again LeBron's involvement, but then also like Adam Sandler being like the driving force behind this movie. Like again, like that made it that much better.
Facts. And they, to your point, they really did try to get as many details right as they could. Like I saw a short video where they talk about the combine process and how many scouts they put in the audience. Like unless you're somebody who knows who like everyone in NBA is, like there are gyms for depending on your level of fandom where they had actual scouts in the office. One of the coaches, at least one, who was coaching during the combine, the coach who Stan was like, "Hey, take my kid out the game," and the guy was like, "No, he's good. I'm gonna leave him in here." That was a real like assistant coach who was just at the combine. Like he was like, "I was just at the combine." I was like, "I'm right back here." Like it's well done how they were able to map this out. And to your point about how realistic the scouting was at the beginning, I'm like, "Dang, the scouting montage long as a mug." Like it was just over and over and over, and I was like, "I get it. It's driving home the point of how monotonous." This can get when you're going to all of these different countries. And that does remind me, just as a quick question, when you're traveling internationally, are you somebody who tries the cuisine that is local to wherever you are, or would you be more like Stan's character where you're going to KFC and Burger King and McDonald's and places that because that's the appeal of fast food. Like no matter where you are, you know what you're going to get to a certain degree. I mean, there's international menu items, but if you go to KFC, you're gonna get you some fried chicken.
You can't go wrong with KFC.
I'm not eating KFC here, so I wouldn't eat it overseas.
Hey man, it might taste different in Japan or somewhere.
No, fuck that. I'm good.
It does. That don't mean it tastes better.
Exactly. No, when I was in England, I tried the fish and chips because I was like, I gotta try some fish and chips, man. Come on now, I'm here.
I bet it tastes like nothing.
It was fish and fries. But shit, I was in England, so I had to try some fish and chips. Where else? It was in Hawaii, even though that's still in America technically. I've had the Mai Tai, I'm like, let me go ahead and get some shit on the beach, let me get a little Mai Tai, get a little pineapple juice and shit like that. Gonna give me something on that while I'm looking at the ocean. Hell yeah, let me go do that shit. Like I did definitely try to I'd have took a trip off the basic guitar, but it was wild shit going on. I would have tried that shit too, but then it turned out it was a good thing that I didn't, because they both had like rocked, and then all the food hit the floor, and they said they was picking it up and putting it back in the bowl and shit. I'm like, no,
What the fuck?
no. But I would have definitely tried the cuisine there had I went off the base and shit like that. So it was, yes, to answer your
So
question.
to answer Camille's question, Jesus Christ, nigga. This nigga here, dog.
What cuisines have you tried, Ken?
Hey, bro.
All of them?
I love to eat, nigga.
There
Damn
you go.
near shit. Yeah, exactly. Hey, I'm gonna bring a fat coalition to get your motherfucking ass. You think it's sweet? We gonna be on. I've had t-shirts made and everything. Fuck them.
Shit, between you slandering Queen Latifah and him with all the fat phobic jokes, like we getting canceled like a mug after this episode.
Right.
Hey, it's only against Ken. I ain't saying nothing about nobody. Well, that's a lie.
Yeah, I did.
I'm like, go ahead and lie. Go ahead and lie.
Look, lie dead on.
I just pointed out that Roman was out of shape. Now all of a sudden I'm fat phobic. Ain't that about nothing? I only talk about Ken.
We got 5 years of you being fat phobic, nigga. What you talking
5
about?
years of me talking about your ass.
5 years, nigga. Of you.
No, I do wait. Before we get into the break, I do want to ask this, and if this leaks over into the second half of the show, that's perfectly fine. But given the number of NBA cameos that they had in this movie, what was your favorite cameo? It can be somebody who just appeared as themselves, or an athlete who was pretending to be someone in the movie. But who was your favorite?
Yeah, it's only one correct answer to this,
Anthony
I feel like,
Edwards.
and that's Anthony Edwards.
Yeah,
Like,
I was like, it gotta be Anthony Edwards.
that was my
Yeah.
favorite part of the whole movie. Like, I could watch a whole movie of Kermit Wilkes or whatever his name was. Like, give me the sequel. Like,
The frog.
like Anthony wasn't even acting. Like, they
He was
just,
being
like,
him.
turned the camera
Exactly.
And that's the funny part with him being in this movie. Apparently Hernangómez, him and Anthony Edwards were teammates for a brief period of time in Minnesota.
Yep.
And he said that when he got the role, he had just hit up Anthony. He was like, yo, like, I need a villain in this movie. I think you'd be perfect. Like, come on and do this. And Anthony Edwards was like, kind of like, all right, sure. Like, if you want me to do it, for sure. And they said it was kind of like them being back in practice, because they was always going at each other anyways, and this and this and that. So, like, they'd be having these intense scenes, and then you hear cut, and then they on the sideline just laughing and getting back to it and playing horse or doing whatever they can in between time. But yeah, Anthony Edwards was absolutely amazing in this movie. When he asks Bo, he says, where are you from? And Bo's like, Spain. And he's like, that just sound whack. I was like, what?
Y'all in the Bulls and shit. Like, bro, come on now. Come on, dog.
Sounds like treat you like a bull.
Bo got him back though with the Olay.
Yeah.
Olay
That's my
Beach.
favorite part.
Olay Beach.
I definitely with his Spain. I definitely want to see like the bull race and shit like that. I
You
think
go
I'm
for
too
a take?
old now to be running away from for like the parade of bulls and stuff. I think I'm too old for that now. I definitely watch from afar.
Ooh, man, I ain't fucking with none of that. Hell straight.
Hey, it's running. You know, Tim there.
I had to think about it.
Let it. Do you see what happens when it actually hits somebody?
Yes,
Shit.
bro. That's
Tim
what
like, you ain't gonna
somebody
catch me.
chasing me.
I'm too fast.
All right, now.
Somebody
No.
chasing me like that. I'll hop a wall or two.
I mean, it's like what they say in horror movies. You don't have to be faster than the animal. You just gotta be faster than the people that you with.
Typically, I am.
These are facts.
Unless Tim decides not to run, because again, when me, him, and Nolan, my husband, went down after the Bucks won the championship and it was gunshots ringing off, I'm gone. I look, I see Nolan finally catching up. I'm like, where is Tim? Tim was nowhere to be found.
He was at the car already.
Fine, looking around, shit. Like,
Tim was still down there. I'm like, run.
I was trying to figure out what direction it was coming from.
Oh, this nigga.
I seen some coming across the bridge, but I didn't see some people coming across this way. I'm like, okay.
So like, let me help the police. He turned into Inspector Gagnon in that motherfucker.
I just tried to make sure I didn't run in that direction. The only way to go was the way we came from, I guess. And Camille was already gone.
But no, in addition to Anthony Edwards, one of my favorite cameos in this movie was Boban. At the beginning of the movie, when they talking to him, he's like, how old are you? He's like 22.
Dog, then his son walked up.
Kid walking up. How old is your kid? 10.
Hey, he just grabbed his bags like, man, we can fuck up out of here.
Yeah, that was no.
And then you see him later at the end too, like he got his little combine invite. He definitely in 22, but
I made
it. Right point though. Point Boba.
Right. And I also thought it was funny that Wagner was Haas.
Would it be Wagner? Yeah, Haas.
Haas.
I don't know. I mean, like, it's a movie role, so you kind of got to take what you can get. But like, I don't know if I want to be like the German bust when I'm really like the German bust in real life. Like,
hey, lean into it.
Like they offer you that role, you be like, "What you trying to say?" Like,
you're perfect.
Like,
you're perfect, sir.
Fuck you, mean?
Now, you already had your audition. We just wanted to say yes.
We wrote this role just for you.
Right, so much life experience. But no, we are going to get ready to take a break. So if you're listening on the TGN app, you're going to hear a couple minutes of commercials, some ads from other shows on the network. So make sure y'all pay attention because it's going to be something that you like in there. And if you're watching on YouTube, it's going to be just little magic screen, and we're going to be right back at it. And when we come back after the break, we're going to dig a little bit deeper into the movie, go over our notes from watching the movie itself, talk about some plot things. I'm going to spend at least 30 seconds, maybe 45, talking about how much I love Robert Duvall and how happy I was to see him in this movie, although he dies very quickly into it.
Spoiler. No, and I got a question for Kim when we get back.
Ooh, it's called a tease, ladies and gentlemen. A tease. But we will be right back after this break. All right, and we are back, ladies and gentlemen, with more Overtime presented by TECK Foul. You have Tim, who just disappeared if you're watching the video, Eric, myself, Camille, and Ken, discussing all things related to the Netflix film Hustle. So we spent the first half just kind of giving our overall thoughts of the movie, talking about some of our favorite cameos, and we're going to spend this half of the show digging a little bit deeper into the movie itself and the plot and just takeaways that we had. And we're going to end the show with just an overall ranking of, 1 to 5 stars. Where do you rank this movie? Where does it rank with other sport movies, basketball classics, and things of the sort? So, Eric, do you want to ask Ken your question first before we dive into it?
Are we going in the plot right away? Oh, we lost Tim.
Yeah, Tim gone. He went somewhere. I don't know where he is.
Yeah, I guess I'll ask it now. Ken, did any of the plot points kind of feel familiar to you in your sports fandom? Because it jumped off the page to me, but like I asked some other people and they didn't get it.
I don't think I got it either.
Camille, you know
I'm not following, but I'm curious.
Ownership situation. Did that not feel like Jerry Buss dying and then Jim Buss taking over and then Jeannie Buss kicking his ass out when he was fucking up?
Oh shit!
Low key.
I didn't even think about that. Yeah, damn. I really didn't think about that.
Does everything right. The city loves him. He passes away. Everybody's sad. The son comes in, wants to prove himself. He's overcompensating, firing people, making bad decisions.
Wow.
Then his sister be like, "Hey, I let him run the team. He was fucking up, so
she had to come in and take
a more hands-on approach." Then she put her own people in there, and then they go on. I'm assuming that they go on to be successful.
I
didn't even think about that. Not at all. Wow, I definitely.
But it's accurate.
Yeah, it makes perfect sense.
And since you brought that up, we can just start talking about that relationship right there. Because again, like I mentioned, I was very excited to see Robert Duvall. The moment I saw him, I was like, the OG. Like, I love Robert Duvall since I first saw him in The Godfather. I just was like, this dude, I'm captivated. Then to see him later on in The Judge with Robert Downey Jr., which I'm still
great
amazed.
Show.
Oh, absolutely
great
amazing.
Show, yo.
Like the acting in that movie was just off the charts. So to see his crazy son Ben, and all of Ben's ideas. You said what? No, Ben was wild. That man was talking about trading Joel Embiid and all kinds of stuff.
Ben was a trip. He's actually one of my favorite people too.
I bet.
You say he was one of your favorite what?
People in the movie, because like you need certain characters in order for certain movies to kind of pop, and Vin was the spoiled bratty, now I'm finally got control of my daddy team, like give me what I want and I don't give a shit what y'all say about it, kind of ordeal. You kind of needed that. Plus I like Ben Foster, like damn near every role I've seen him in, he's been a dick.
Hey, we know you love dick.
Pause.
Hey,
I like that.
You caught me that one. I like that.
No, like he was in what was that? Shit. He was in another movie that I watched, but he was pretty much an asshole in that one too. Alpha Dog. He was he was the main dude in Alpha Dog.
Oh, that was him.
Yeah, and I was telling Sam, I was like, last time, I was like, she was like, he don't
Justin Timberlake in that movie.
hair. Yeah, he was the main dude.
Justin Timberlake, right?
Yeah, yeah, when they had the kid and shit.
Yeah, okay, yeah,
I
did see that. Yeah, I saw that.
He was in there. He was in something else before too. That he had a weird scratchy voice, but usually he's in the role of some kind of AO. When I seen him pop up, I was like, oh, that's perfect. He would be perfect for this role.
And he sure was. I did not like dude.
I was an F dog, bro.
Big facts. And was I the only one who thought when the owner did die, Robert Duvall's character, did anyone else think like, oh my God, Stan ain't gonna get this promotion no more? Like he is not about to be a coach. Because I was like, I think he was the only one who knew. So now that he died,
that's what I thought. That was the first thing I thought. I was like, damn, he ain't finna get his shot.
Yeah.
But
then I remember that the daughter knew. So.
Oh, okay. I forgot about that.
I was like, he got his whole name on the office in the back, so I don't think it was that big of a secret.
That's a good point. I was just so nervous.
I was like, okay, cool, he cool.
But then I saw him coaching, and I'm like, heck yeah. The next thing you know, he in Ben office, and Ben was being a dick there too. How you gonna call someone in your office and then be texting while they standing there?
It happens. Fuck out of here.
Just like they know you there. They know you there. They just sitting there. Like I'm supposed to wait on you, even though you called. Okay.
Right. Okay. You called me in here.
No, I've been there too. Shout out to the military.
The weird, like, I get it because of like who the character was, but it was weird, like how personal he took like Bo's success. Like, I thought I don't know, like maybe that speaks to like his misplaced priorities, but you would think that you would be more focused on like, oh damn, like we need good players. Like,
you would think.
Maybe we should actually, try to mend fences and bring him back in. But like every time Bo was there, like he's just like rooting for him to film. It's like, yeah, look, he trash. He can't shoot
because he hates to be
Smith. Like, I mean, it looked like he can shoot.
Like he already fucked up with drafting Wagner. So yeah, he knew that. But it had to be his way. It had to be his way, and the person that opposed him the most was him.
And yet and still, he was not listening to nothing Stan said, although his father told him, like, hey, Stan is someone that's a valuable voice. And I was happy that before he passed away, he was able to tell Stan, like, hey, yo, don't you back down to Vin at all, no more. Don't you do that. So Vin, being the dick that he is, pretty much stripped Stan of his coaching title and says you need to get back on the road and scout because we're missing something because, of course, I drafted wrong. So find a piece that can fix this. And then you can come back and keep coaching. So he goes on this trip. He's in Spain. He's like, I've had a long day. I just need to go shoot some hoops myself. And as he's walking to the courts, he sees a game going on. And he meets Bo. And
oh no.
It's the dude on the other team cooking. And Bo's like, let me hold him. I got him. Don't you worry. Shut him down. Next thing you know, he hustled dude out some money too.
I mean, stay hustling.
Cue the title of the movie.
Yeah, I was just gonna say
So I loved. First of all, I thought all the basketball scenes were actually pretty good, and I mean, they also had like some and one dudes in the movie. The professor was in here too, as some.
The professor.
And Lethal Shooter was in it.
You said what?
Lethal Shooter was in it.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep, I laughed when I saw Lethal. I was like, "Oh, there go Tim Boy."
You got tips and movies. Let me go ahead and write that down real quick. Stay low, okay? Stay low.
But what cracked me up is when Stan follows him on the bus and he's using the Google Translate. I was like, "This man pitching woo
I was mad as hell at that scene because I understood him. I was like, this is how they treat me. This is exactly how they treat me. They just took all of the shit that I'm saying out of context and gonna flip it like that. I was like, this is how these motherfuckers treat me. I feel you, man. I feel you.
You know why it's taken out of context? Because he didn't explain the context. If he would have said, I'm a basketball scout, and then said everything else would have made sense. Would have been no problem.
Exactly.
Which is the same thing happening to Tim. You always forget a part.
Yeah.
And then you keep talking, thinking that we know the part that you left out.
Like you, instead of point A to B to C to Z, like you go point B, and it's like, wait, I don't have like the foundation to follow along on this story right now.
Y'all be worried about the wrong thing. Not even the story, just where the story started. What about the actual story? What about the actual story? Y'all just want to know where the story started.
If we don't know where it started, we don't know what it's. How we gonna understand the story?
If this movie just started with
in the middle.
Right in the middle of the movie,
right now. We need to worry about all of that right now. See,
here come that word.
You're worried about the wrong thing.
Exactly. Here come that word, Buddha.
Hey, tell me like that's that nigga.
See, that makes sense, don't
it? So eventually, Stan is able to convince Bo of who he is after he continues to stalk this man, follows him home somehow. I'm not exactly sure how he was able to find him.
The man left his ass. I was like, how the fuck he show up there too? I've been kind of creeped out too. Like, hey, yo, bro, I'll look behind me at least several times on the way block. We walked through the hood. My man's was over in the corner in the dark and shit. You got past all of that and you still found me?
Hey, man, I don't know. The Bo was a strong dude because if you hooping in Tim's,
Bro, that's the first thing I was like, what?
And it was worn too. Like, they was probably comfortable.
Hey, my man's his Keely strong as a motherfucker.
Feet ball heavy? How you hooping in them heavy boots?
Hey, they just leg weights, that's all.
That's what yes, exactly.
It's just weight training. He just got for work. Let me go ahead and push.
Hey, what? Fresh off of work.
I ain't even punched out yet.
Is that where Cole Anthony got the idea from the dunk contest?
Hey, listen, I can't speak on Cole Anthony. Like, I don't know.
I forgot that dude wore some Timbs to dunk. Ooh, that was a bad dunk contest. All right.
Definitely was trash.
Eventually, Bo.
Dirk, by the way.
Yeah, he used Dirk to help, get him on his team, and Bo was like, okay, I'll go with you to the States, try to, you work for 76ers. Let me try to get to this NBA thing. And so plot point, Stan brings him over. The 76ers have no interest in him coming over. So now Stan is paying out of his own pocket to keep this kid in a hotel, which very nice hotel.
5-star.
Big 5-star. And that young man is in that room ordering everything he can off room service and taking one bite.
Dog. I was pissed watching that shit. I was like, are you kidding me?
He wasn't trying to get fat, bro. You talking about me fat?
Honestly, here you go. Honestly, the most egregious part was paying for porn in the hotel. Like, who does that?
I mean, somebody who ain't never really been in the 5-star joint and got all of this free shit around.
You already know, like, every flick was probably like $30-$20, bro. Hell no.
Fucking $20 Pringles, bro. We've been there. We still go to we still go to hotels now and don't touch the mini bar if we know we got to pay for the shit.
Exactly. I'm gonna go to there's some liquor stores around here somewhere. I'm straight.
That's only because we got smacked one time. I'm like, oh shit. I ain't doing that again.
A shot like $15. What the? Oh no, these things.
Yeah, for a little shooter bottle, like
yeah, that's what I'm saying. They be like $15.
You drink the whole damn mini bar, just you got a $200 bill. Where the fuck that come from? I thought it was free.
Not only was he ordering all the food, but he was also ordering porn. And hotel porn is not cheap.
No, at least $30-$20 a pop. Exactly.
Literally, Ken.
Literally, I've done it.
Pop, there goes 20. Pop, there goes 30.
God, flat is $1, bro. Like, come on, now. They be whacking. Pause.
Oh, hey, I see that boy. Hey,
but bring y'all back. How did y'all feel about the evolution of Bo and Stan's relationship throughout the movie? Because honestly, that's a big driving point of the movie. Like, you hear it's thrown about like how his dad wasn't there, Bo's dad wasn't there. He got the tattoo here for his mom and his daughter, and then the other arm that was blank was for his dad, which I was like, that's kind of funny. I like that. But yeah, how did y'all feel about their relationship just overall throughout the movie and how it evolved and them two?
it was just dope, like how much faith like Adam Sandler saw like the potential in him, like real heavy, like, you know, like for somebody to believe in you so much, I think that's like motivation in itself. So that was really dope too. And it became more of like he like took him under his wing, and you know, like he was paying for everything. Like what, like who would do that? Like this man paying for, he sent them over there, put him in a hotel. He was sending his mom money and stuff like that for his daughter. Like you could tell like he actually cared and he was invested. And that was super dope. Like you could tell it wasn't just like, it wasn't a work thing for him. It was just like, I really want this kid to succeed.
Like you said, it was a true investment. Shit, the wife was the wife being cool with him sending $500 a week to woo. But it was also like for him, it was an investment. He had 30 years worth of experience as an NBA scout. He's been around the world seeing all these different bodies, and for him, that was his. No, I'm betting the bank. I'm betting my career. I'm betting everything on this guy because I've seen everything up under the sun, and I know for a fact this is the best thing smoking, and it's all I got.
What I thought was like understated throughout the thing, but like very well done is when he gets that assistant coach job at the beginning, like you can tell that's what he's been working towards, like his entire career. Like he's like, I finally made it. Like I get to stay home. I get to do all these things. So like him coaching Bo throughout like his journey up and through the combine, like that was him getting to live out and like actually prove to himself that, oh, I can be a coach. Like I got this dude from, you know, the slums in Barcelona or wherever he was at, to like I worked with him, I got him up every day, like I did all this training, like I did everything, like I got to be a coach. And it kind of proves to himself, and then at the end for him to be rewarded with the job that he had initially anyway, but to be rewarded like with being on, you know, Doc Rivers' staff at the end of the movie, like it's like they both kind of like lived out their dreams together and kind of built each other up to get where they need to go.
Yeah, and it was cool to see what it looked like is that their relationship remained strong after he was drafted by the Celtics. So like I know like I feel like the movie ending would have been for Bo to be playing for the team that Stan is coaching on, but like a more realistic ending to the movie is he didn't end up in the same spot because, you know, the Celtics, we saw Brad Stevens like, hey, I'm trying to, you know, see what's up with Bo. And he ended up getting Bo. So just to see both of them make it, it was beautiful.
Then he had the tattoo there for his dad. That ain't his dad.
Right. So it was heartwarming to see that relationship, especially as everybody who listens to us knows, like, I don't have like that relationship with my biological father, but like I have uncles who stepped in. So it's always nice to have somebody who steps in and helps fill up a void that you might be feeling in your own life. So I definitely also love watching their relationship evolve. I loved his relationship with his daughter as well, and how she became a major plot point in the movie because he's showing her Dr. J highlights, and later on she's like, remember the video of the doctor friend you showed me? He's like, I don't know no doctors, what you think? And Queen Latifah's character T, she's like, Dr. J. So they're like, why don't we use Dr. J? People need to see Bo, like he can't get into the combine, like we just need people to see him. And T is like, I'll call him if you won't call him. I don't have no problem calling this man. And next thing you know, we see Dr. J out on the court, and everybody in the stands is like, is that who I think it is?
The doctor?
And the stands like, yeah, that's Dr. J. That's him. I said, yep, that's him. I said, that's how you be a good hype man. Hype up your own product, sir.
Yeah, that's a dope.
The nickname was kind of weak to me, Boa. I get it.
Constricts his prey.
I get it.
Womp, womp, womp.
You know,
I mean, most nicknames like that tend to be kind of corny. When me and Tim were talking about the N1 mixtape, and I mentioned my Uncle Tony's basketball nickname was Poison because he was killing them on the court. Tim was like, "Oh no, Poison, killing them on the court." So that's how those nicknames. Like, I get it.
I mean, I would imagine like Dr. J came from he make niggas sick on the court or some shit. You know what I mean? Like, it's always something weird.
Call the doctor.
Call the doctor.
But the BOA challenge does end up taking off, where he's like, if you can hit rim, you get $50. If you make a shot, you get 100. If you beat them 1-on-1 game to 5, you get 1,000. The way those folks celebrated during the very first bowl challenge when he would hit the rim,
bro, I was
so geek.
I was rolling. I was like, they lit that man up.
Lift him up. He like, hey,
man,
he making it rain.
All night, ain't nobody been able to get that motherfucker up there.
But it was smart.
That is realistic because like when Tobias Harris got out there, it's like you if that was like some type of viral challenge that like was in real life, you would definitely see some NBA players out there like, nah, I'm shutting this shit down now.
Right.
Obviously, they don't need the money, but it's just the principle of like nobody else can score and do, I can score and do.
And it was a perfect way to drum up interest. Like it made sense. Like, of course, then it's gonna be on the NBA on TNT, and the Herd and whatever. Like, why isn't he at the combine? We would have been doing a podcast episode like, hey man, bring him to the combine.
I swear.
You saw them, they couldn't even. Dog, one dude was on the court and he couldn't get him. He kept stepping back till he just stepped off the court.
Man. Like, bro, go, take the ball.
She had a filthy step back.
Then he just stepped off. He said, I'm good. But eventually, the BOA challenge does get him to the combine. He gets to see Kermit again. They go at it. And then Kermit gets into Bo's head as soon as he sees that Bo is waving to his daughter, who Stan brought over as a surprise, him and his daughter and his mom, and she's in the audience. And as soon as Kermit saw her in the audience and he just kind of looked and just nodded a little bit and smiled, I said, oh no.
I know where to get him filthy.
I know where to get him at. Where her mom's at? I'm like, oh, this nigga.
She's shacking up. Here. She should shack up with me next. I'd be a good stepdaddy.
I thought he was gonna hit it with the okay. Okay. I was like, no, don't do that. Don't do that.
He also insinuated that Bo slept with his mama.
Yeah.
To have I was like, oh, like you just...
He was wilding.
Hey, but like that's how trash talk. Like, remember Honey Nut Cheerios? Like that's how it be on NBA courts. Like you say whatever you gotta say.
The biggest rumor of them all the trash talk. I never said nothing about no Honey Nut Cheerios.
He also said he ain't called Charlie Villanueva a cancer patient, and he definitely
he bugging.
We know you did. That's right up your damn alley.
But he loses his temper when Kermit brings up his daughter and shacking up, and he waves at the daughter and she waved back and says, see, I'd be a good stepdaddy. She liked me already. I was like, oh boy. So at least Bo didn't actually punch him in the face. He just smacks the ground. But yet and still, it's going to be another mark on his record because they already talked about him having assault charges and all that stuff. So he thinks he's going back home. Stan thinks he's going back home, and to Eric's point, that's when Stan is like, yo, this was like the best month of my life that I had training you. Like, ain't no regrets. The money, don't worry about it. Bo's, I'm gonna pay you back. Nah, don't worry about it. I would have been like, yeah, you can definitely pay me back.
I showed him like, yes, please, motherfucker.
Yeah. All them cheeks you was watching, my nigga, at least reimbursed
for the cheeks.
For the cheeks.
For the kicks and the room with him, bro, because he had a bite of the steak. He took the whole T-bone. Like, let me get this about you too.
A bite of a T-bone steak. I don't even like steaks like that. Like, I can eat a steak. I'm not a steak connoisseur, so I tend to stay away from steaks. I'm not gonna order no steak and eat a bite. Like, come on now. Like, but
that's
of course,
if you thought that the 76ers were the ones paying for it, you might.
Maybe if I thought they was paying for it, I might be a little bit more reckless. But I'm not gonna eat just a bite. That I can attest to. I will not eat just a bite. But
you don't want that cow to have died in vain.
But he gets a call back to another secret game that's happening because Leon, aka Kenny Smith's character, calls and he's like, "Yo, get over here! If he ain't on the plane, like, let's go." They get him over to the gym. He earns his keep. It shows that he's talented enough to be in the NBA. He ends up getting drafted, as we mentioned. Both guys get their happy ending. And it seems as if they both have a good relationship with each other and life is good. They both were able to achieve what they were after.
I also thought it was one realistic, but also like a nice touch for him to then call Tobias Harris over like, hey, if he going left, it's a spin move. If he going right, it's a euro or whatever. It's like, yeah, like you still doing whatever you can to win. Like it's all love, but like as soon as that ball tips off, like Fuck
I
that.
want to
Like,
win.
shut your ass down.
I think that last game in the gym was probably the most unrealistic portion. I was like, Trey over here giving him the ball. I said, hey, go do your thing. I'm like, no, but not no open runs. Not no open runs. We seen Trey. No, buddy. hey, come here, Bo. Come here and take this. I was like, oh, word? Jordan Clarkson in there. What? No.
You know he ain't passing the ball.
No. Boy, ain't no way they finna hand him the ball.
G-ball.
That was about it. But other than that, no, it was nice.
I guess the realism, if you want to argue, is that they might be more willing to pass, knowing that they were playing with draftees who had people there looking to, like they already made it. Like they ain't got enough to prove at this point. But overall, the movie itself, 1 to 5 stars. Where do you rank it? Eric, perfect 5. 5. Okay.
I'll have to watch it again, but it's damn near like my favorite movie at this point.
I can give you that.
I give it a strong 4, maybe 4.5. Like it was very enjoyable. Like my mom even called me and she was like, Hustle was off the chain, girl. I said it was a good movie. It definitely was.
Yeah,
Tim, Kim, where y'all coming at?
You? What you say? Yeah, I think I'm gonna go 4.5 too, because 5, like movies that I give a 5 is like Dark Knight and like stuff like that. So I think I'm gonna go 4.5.
You know what? Yeah. To that point, I'm gonna go with a solid 4. It's a good movie. It is a good movie. Real quick, thinking about where you rank it just with other basketball movies. Eric, we kind of have your answer already, but is this a movie that y'all think is going to be put in with like just some of the best sport movies of all time?
Oh yeah, for sure. I think so.
Give it time. I don't know. I'm gonna give you unknown. Give it time.
That's a good answer.
I think it will.
Think part of the issue is that it's a Netflix movie. Like if it was like a movie, like I feel like it would have like more momentum.
Mm-hmm.
But like because it's a Netflix movie, like it gets downgraded off rip. As far as like its longevity and its like cultural impact, like it's happened a week. But it's like if it's in theaters, like it has a whole run, and then it has another life on stream, and you're like, it just has more opportunity to kind of penetrate the culture. But like on its own merits, like I think it's up there with some of the all-timers like Blue Chips and
Major League.
Yeah.
I just watched Blue Chips too.
For me, like overall, this movie follows the general formula of all sport movies. Like there's some something you have to overcome, then the challenge, you got to figure it out. But it had a lot of heart, and all the acting in the movie was great. So when both of your stars are killing it acting wise, like I am here for it. Sign me up. Hustle. I already watched it twice. Like it's something that I can definitely see. Like I just want to throw on a sport movie. Let me just throw on Hustle real quick and see how that goes. So I enjoyed it as well. We hope that all of you listening enjoyed the movie, enjoyed this podcast. As a reminder, if you have not already, make sure that you subscribe to our YouTube. We are 12 away from 100 subscribers. We want to get those up. So come on and subscribe, like up the videos, share them with your friends, download the TGN app and all of that good stuff. And we ain't going to hold y'all up too much longer. We're going to get up out of here, catch the end of this Stanley Cup final game.
It's tied.
So if you want to follow me on social media, you can catch me.
Wait a minute.
On Twitter, Instagram, at Camille Monet, CAMILLEMONAE.
Because your mom is fancy.
Thank you, sir.
At your 2021 NBA World Champion Milwaukee Bucks burner.
That's all you get?
Yep.
Everyday _gentleman on Instagram, KHarris216 on Twitter and Snapchat.
And it's your boy TIM, KINZ, the number 3, aka Ask Ketchum, aka Mr. Give It To Me. We out, bro.
You heard what that man said. We are out of here. Real quick, if you have not already listened to our weekly show, make sure you go and do that as well. Hit that up. But we out of here. Peace out.